Welcome to the Degenerate Dillon podcast, where Dillon has you covered with everything from spreads to futures to prop bets. Follow him every weekday as we pick daily best bets using stats, analytics, and a little bit of luck. Now here's your host, Degenerate Dillon himself, Dillon Nelson.
Welcome in to another episode of the Degenerate Dillon podcast. We had a great Tuesday, 3 for 3. If you guys listened to yesterday's episode, we were feeling really good last night going into our 3 games we picked. I picked really 4 games yesterday in the way of Arkansas and South Carolina. As you know, I don't bet my teams, but I did pick that game. I did pick Arkansas to cover that. They covered that game. So a little bonus pick. So we are, as a pick system, we are 6-2 on games that I've wagered. We are 5-2. Yesterday's game, Baylor covers a 4.5 in overtime and comes from behind to beat West Virginia. Jared Butler and Davion Mitchell controlled this game. For the Baylor Bears, Culver could not really get going. I know we talked yesterday about Derek Culver and how Baylor doesn't really have a matchup for him. They did pretty well sticking to what they do best, and West Virginia didn't really try to exploit that disadvantage for Baylor. I mean, Culver shot 10 free throws. Yes, he got the line, but he only scored 9 points and only grabbed 9 boards. I expected more from Derek Culver in this game against a team that doesn't really have a starter that's over 6'8". But yeah, Derek Culver, not a great game, not a bad game. And Baylor shows why they are a top 4 team in the country by coming from behind in West Virginia to win this game and cover the 4.5 by winning by 5. I ended up taking Illinois early yesterday because I liked the 8-point spread. And I figured since they won 2 games in a row against decent opponents without Io Dosmunu, I can't say his last name, but Io didn't play last night. He's their best player. He didn't play last night because of a facial injury. But I took Illinois early yesterday with 8 points. The line went all the way down to Michigan favored by 6.5. And a lot of people I know punched that line as soon as they heard Iowa was out. So I'm glad I grabbed Illinois at 8 yesterday because Illinois absolutely cruised past Michigan yesterday, winning by 23. Impressive win for the Illini without probably their best player. They have now won 3 games in a row and covered those spreads without Io in the lineup. I mean, it's to think what this team can do and what they're capable of when they get their best player back is kind of scary for the rest of the teams that'll be in the bracket in March, especially in the Big Ten tournament. So we covered that. So 2 for 2. Purdue covers the 2 against Wisconsin last night, winning by 4 late. It was a pretty good, balanced game all night long. And Zach Edey came off the bench. I don't know if you guys don't know who Zach Edey is. He is a freshman there at Purdue. We've talked about him before on a previous episode. He's 7'4" freshman. He kind of took over the game last night in the paint. It seemed like every time they dish him down the ball, he would do a little turnaround hook shot and make it. Scored 21 points off the bench. I really liked the way they used him last night against a Wisconsin team that was struggling with his size. So look out for Purdue. They are a problem team right now in the Big Ten, and Lenardi has, since they won last night, has put them at a 4 seed. So this could get interesting for the Boilermakers. I think they're moving in the right direction. Arkansas also moved from 4 seed to 3 seed last night with a blowout win. So that was nice to see. But yeah, that was our picks yesterday. 3 for 3. We'll take it every night. I have a good feeling about tonight's games. Also, they're not as big as yesterday's games. There's no top 10, top 25 matchups tonight. There's some good games that have implications for conference tournaments and seedings in March, but they're not as big as Baylor, West Virginia, or, Illinois, Michigan. First game of the day would be Clemson visiting Syracuse. Now, we talked about the UNC-Syracuse game not too long ago, and we took UNC knowing Syracuse had won 5 straight home games. Well, that didn't turn out too great for us. Syracuse won their 6th straight home game. Clemson has won 5 straight games, but is 1-5 as an away team against the spread. Syracuse is in the next 4 out and cannot lose. It's very important for the Qs right now. If you're in the next 4 out at this time of the year, you cannot lose. Cannot afford it. Clemson, by winning 5 straight, is a 7 seed. They've played really good lately. I really like Clemson right now. Amir Sims has been averaging 17 points and 7 boards in that 5-game stretch. Buddy Boeheim, who knows, has averaged 20 in that same stretch, in that same 5-game stretch, but Syracuse has lost 2 out of their last 5. I really like the angle here of riding Syracuse and that potential 7-game home win streak. But I love the way Clemson has played lately. In fact, Clemson dismantled the Syracuse team 78-61 the last time they played. This is different. This is at home. Syracuse plays great at home. I think I'm going to take the Tigers and the money line tonight. Clemson is favored by 2.5 right now. That could change. But right now, I like Clemson. I like the way Clemson has played their last 5 games. I like the way Amir Sims has been playing. I just got a good feeling about this game. Now, against the spread, Clemson is 1-5 as an away team. That could be something to watch for. But I'm going to take Clemson on the money line. That is my pick tonight for our first game of the day. Next game of the evening is UConn visiting Seton Hall in a game that could decide the 3 seed in the Big East tournament. Seton Hall won the last matchup 80-73 in UConn. In that game, Seton Hall shot 50% from deep and 50% from the field. UConn has won their last 2, and Seton Hall has lost their last 2. UConn is 13-4-1 against the spread overall and 10-3 as favorites. UConn is favorited in this game by 1.5 points. Not by much, but by 1.5 points. Seton Hall is 12-10 against the spread overall and 4-6 as a home team against the spread. UConn has covered their last 4 games, and Hall hasn't. Listen to the numbers here. Ride UConn and the spread, because that's just the smart play here. That's just a smart play, folks. 13-4-1 against the spread overall and 10-3 as favorites. Those are great numbers. When I think about somewhere I want to put my money, those are the numbers I look at. Seton Hall is not going to shoot 50% from both field goal or from both the field and deep. They're not going to do that again. And at least it's very highly unlikely. I mean, it could happen again, but I don't think it will. I like the way UConn's playing right now. I like the way they cover against the spread. Take UConn. It's a smart play. Third game of the night, Creighton at Villanova. Villanova is coming off a tough loss to 9-13 Butler. Creighton is coming off a loss to 13-6 Xavier. Last time these teams played, Creighton won handedly, 86-70, and shot 60% from the field. Both teams have won 7 of their last 10, with Creighton just coming off a 4-game win streak before their loss to Xavier. This is going to be a close game. I don't believe Creighton will shoot 60% from the field again. I think the smart play here is Creighton to cover the 4.5. But for the return, and because I'm feeling dangerous, there we go, Baker Mayfield, I'll ride the Creighton money line tonight. Yeah, I'll ride the Creighton money line tonight. I think that's going to be a solid game. And by the way, the first game, what was the first game? Yeah, Clemson and Syracuse. That starts at 4. So if you happen to get off work or get home in time to catch that game or bet on it, it does start at 4. The other games are 6 or 7, later games. Bonus pick. I also like NC State against Notre Dame tonight. NC has won 4 straight games and are currently dogs to a Notre Dame team that has lost 3 straight games. I'm going to take NC State in the money line while I can still profit on it. Matter of fact, I already have, and it's 9:30 in the morning. So take NC State and with the money line against Notre Dame. I like that play also. But that'll be it for us on a Wednesday. We are 6-2 so far into March, starting it off solid. I think we will have another good day today. So let's keep an eye on these picks, and we will catch up with y'all mañana. Y'all have a good Wednesday.